Hello and welcome back to These Blind Eyes. I am doing some potato salad today, and I do it different than most people who can see. Most people who can see will drop the potato in the water, boil it, then peel it and cut it up. I don't like that. I can't see, and so it's a nightmare trying to deal with stuff that's that hot when you can't see. So I don't know, I can't remember if I mentioned it on the mashed potatoes video or not, so I'm going to mention it now for this. If you're peeling potatoes for something, once a potato is peeled and you rinse it off, you put it in your pan of cold water. Otherwise, if enough time passes, it's going to start to turn black, which you do not want. So what I did for this is I peeled my potatoes, approximately 4 pounds worth, I'd guess. And as I peeled them, rinsed them, put them in a pan of water, and then I went back and I chopped them. For those who can see, I went ahead and chopped it into my potato salad size that I like. It's a little bit bigger, but it cooks down. It cooks down. And so my general rule, I have all of my potatoes chopped as if I was making the potato salad now. I'm going to turn on the stove top to its highest setting. And once it gets to a hard boil, I will boil it for approximately, 10 to 15 minutes. I'll let you know when I'm done. But I check it. I will get a slotted spoon. I will take a couple pieces out and bite into it to see if it's where I want it. Now, if it's just a touch hard, that's fine, because potatoes are extremely dense, and once they've boiled, they're going to keep cooking just a little bit. So if it's just a touch hard, that's going to be fine. So I will be back and check the potatoes. Like I said, once it gets to a hard boil, I'll set my timer for 15 minutes. And at that 15-minute mark, I will be checking it. I might check it periodically just to make sure and be safe, but usually it takes 15 minutes minimum. Sometimes 25, but I'll be checking it minimum 15. And I will come back and we will drain it, cool it off, and then guess what? We'll be making our potato salad. All right, I'm back, and guess what? 10 minutes at that hard boil, that was all it took. It's done. When you're running a real hard boil, you got to keep an eye on your pot just to make sure it doesn't start boiling over, or you're going to have a mess on your stove. For those who do not remember the mashed potatoes video, I am using a colander, which is a bowl with a bunch of holes, a big strainer, and I'm going to use that to drain the potatoes. Once they're drained, I'm going to run cold water over the potatoes to cool them off, because they're still going to be cooking from the inside regardless. Woo, that is hot. For those who can't see, keep in mind I am using oven mitts. Okay. I got the initial hot water drained, and now I'm running some cold water to get it to start cooling down, because like I said, potatoes are dense. They will keep cooking even after they're done. They will keep cooking just a little bit even after I run this cool water over them. So now I got some cold water that I put over it. This is taking some of the initial heat off. Going back to the colander, and I will be dumping this water off. Once I have this drained off, what I am going to do is dump this into the big mixing bowl that I am going to be using. Alrighty. Now I am going to move this mixing bowl over in front of me. You won't be able to see it on camera. Sorry about that, but it's that or set it up on the marble. And then you're just going to be staring at a bowl. Put my oven mitts back up. Alright, now it's going to be time to start adding all my ingredients. Let's see, what do I got here? Now my boiled eggs, I cut them in half and then cut them lengthwise and then tore them up. And I am including the egg yolks in this. Likewise, I am also using all 6 eggs. That might be a little much, but I like egg whites in my potato salad, so it's not that big of a deal. Works out nice when you got a cigarette already lit. Wasn't expecting the potatoes to be done in 10 minutes, but I figured I'd check them. Now, onion, chopped onion, I got half of that onion I was talking about from my other video, which, if you didn't watch Cabbage Slaw, you are not going to know what I'm talking about. So, I had chopped up about half of a medium-sized onion. Somewhere between small and medium-sized onion. Half of it's chopped and in there now. If you cannot see, some of this stuff is going to take practice and time. My advice, because it's going to be different every time no matter what, because you're not going to sit and weigh every single potato to see how many potatoes you got. It's not feasible. You're not going to do it. So, I've got celery as well. A little hint. It's about three stalks worth. A little hint when it comes to chopping celery. First, I slice the stalk lengthwise. I slice it lengthwise and then go side to side chopping it. Otherwise, if you go side to side first, then you just got a ton of little pieces that you have to try to go lengthwise on. So it's just a lot easier to do it lengthwise and then come back and do it sideways, if that makes any kind of sense. You know what a stalk of celery looks like, so you should be able to figure it out. Okay, so let's see here. Next, I am going to put in a squirt of mustard. There's no real way to measure it, so put in a squirt. Don't go stupid with it. Once again, I got somewhere between 4 and 5 pounds of potatoes. I go a little at a time. That way, I can add more if I need to add more. Here. It's kind of funny. My mom came in here And in the 3 minutes she was in here, managed to move something that I had set to the side for myself. Kind of irritating when you're cooking, much less making a video. Alrighty, I got my squirt of mustard in there now. Now I am using silverware set spoons. The middle one I am using. I'm gonna need to find that other jar. That's gonna really irritate me because this ain't enough. Ah, Lord. Talk about frustrating. But, alright, so I'm gonna put a splash of apple cider vinegar in there now. I gotta find that mayo. Having to come back. And I think I'm going to, so I'll be right back, folks, because I gotta find the mayo. Alright, and I am back. That's the problem with living with people who can see. Even after a lifetime, never stop and think about the fact that you can't see. Alright, so I'm starting off tablespoon out of a silverware set. That's the middle spoon. Starting off with 2 tablespoons of mayo. Likewise, I am using 2 tablespoons of sweet relish. That's to start out. And like I said, it's 4 or 5 pounds of potatoes. You just kind of learn. You start learning by getting a 5-pound sack of potatoes and knowing how much of it you've used. You know? Salt and pepper, I'm doing a taste. Maybe got 2 teaspoons of salt, maybe a teaspoon of pepper to start. Now I am mixing it all up. Make sure you get under it with the spoon as you're mixing. And the thing is you have to be gentle with it or you're gonna just tear the crap out of the potatoes because they are cooked. Unless you want mashed potato salad, which apparently is a thing from what I've been told. The texture of it, man, it just sounds gross to me. I know it's got all the same stuff in it, but just the texture of it. Which is weird because I like mashed potatoes, but I like the flavor of mashed potatoes to go with my mashed potatoes. And I like the flavor of potato salad to go with my potato salad. Now, everybody's taste is different. Some people, instead of sweet relish, like to use dill relish. I'm not one of them. Now, as far as the silverware set again, I am using 2 teaspoons of sugar. That's it, just 2. Unless I got more vinegar than I counted on, it won't be necessary to add more. I want to keep mixing it up. It seems to be mixing up pretty well. That's the thing. Something about doing it while the potatoes are still hot. I know I cooled them down a little bit, but that did not really cool them down all that much. It just takes the initial heat off. But it kind of helps the mustard and mayo and stuff like that to get hot and spread around easier. I think. Maybe it's just wishful thinking on my part. Alrighty, let's see here. I think I got a fork sitting here. Yep. Time to try this stuff out. I'm going to put one more squirt of mustard in. I'm going to put one more tablespoon of sweet relish in. And I am going to put one more tablespoon of mayo in. And the thing is, if you get the taste close at this point in time, if you get it close, you stop. Because once you put it in the refrigerator and it sets up and stuff like that, the flavors are going to soak in. It's going to become more flavorful. So if it's close to where you're going to want it, go ahead and stop. I know I'm taking a long time stirring, but I'm stirring slow because, like I said, I don't want mashed potato salad. And as far as getting things mixed up, you cannot over stir when it comes to getting it mixed up. Okay, where's that fork of mine? There it be. Try this again. That's perfect. Yep, that was perfect. Alright, so that's the potato salad. I don't know how to set up the cameras outside to do the beer butt chicken, so sorry, but that video is not happening anytime soon. So, but you got cabbage slaw, you got your potato salad, and those are a couple pretty good sides to have that can go with a lot of different things. So, any questions, comments, or concerns, hit me up at littlemb6580@gmail.com. Until next time, enjoy, and I hope you all take care.